If there is greater virtue in being a human over a malach, what was the point of Eliyahu Hanavi turning into a malach?
A Jew is not greater than a malach. A neshama is greater than a malach. A Jew is a neshama and a guf. It's a soul and a body. A neshama is greater than a malach. So first of all, what is the difference between a neshama and a malach? Basically, the neshama is best represented by the two Hebrew letters ma, mem he, ma, which is a word that connotes the deepest concept of bittul. And ma is begematria odom, which means that a neshama is unique, that at its base, at its deepest level, there's a sense of purpose and bittul to Hashem which has no limits. And on its surface, on its chitzonius, it's a mensch, which means it's limited, it's complex, it's orderly, and it's balanced. Because that's what a human being is. He's a combination of chesed and gevur and everything in between. A human being is not a pole, a human being is not an extreme. A malach is different than a person in both of these ways. He lacks the depth of ma, and he lacks the balance of adam. A malach is a creation with a purpose. And all he is that purpose. So if a malach was created to be kind, that's all he is, chesed. The base of that malach is chesed, is not ma. In other words, a malach doesn't have a center. A malach does not have an essence of bittul. A malach simply has a mission. So in a way, a malach is nothing other than fulfilling a purpose. But in another way, because a malach doesn't have that center, there's a certain sense of self, which is the opposite of bittul, which is why you have in the Gemara about a malach who was pashat given malchus, because he stepped out of line, because he's lacking that depth. And also in Sheftim, in Tanakh, where Yankov Avinu meets a malach, and he says to the malach, "What's your name?" And the answer that the malach gives him, Sadish al Esav, is, "Why you ask me my name?" Right? In Shimshon Agib, in the story of Moneach in Ishtay, it's the same story. They ask the malach, "What's his name?" He says, "Why you ask me my name?" But in the Tanakh, there's two words added that don't say in the Chumash, "V'hu peli." So Rashi says, why does the malach respond? Yankov asks him an innocent question, "What's your name?" Why can't he answer him? And the malach answers, "Because I don't have a name. I do have a name, but I don't have a name." What does that mean? I have a name, but tomorrow's going to be a different name. Because my name is my shlichus. Whatever I'm doing, that's what I am. Tomorrow, I'm going to do something else, I'll be different. A human being has a name. The name of a human being, the name of an neshama, doesn't change from shlichus to shlichus. Because the name is not about what they do, the name is about their essence. In other words, the name of an neshama has to do with the ma, with the bittul, and that name is an absolute thing. Which is why a name by a person is considered such a deep thing. It's not about what they do, but what they are. And the chitzonius of a neshama is adam. Malachim don't have that kind of pnimis, they therefore don't have a name. And they don't have that kind of complex chitzonius like a neshama, they're not adam. Some malachim are only chesed like Mechol, some malachim are only gevura like Gavriel, and so on. So the difference between a neshama and a malach is a neshama has a center, an essence, and a neshama is complete. Each neshama is a complete entity. Malachim don't have an essence, and malachim need each other. Malachim complement each other. No malach is whole. That's why you have in the Siddur, Kulam Makablim, Rishus Zeh Mizeh, V'neisnim Rishus Zeh Lazeh. It says in Chassidus, if one malach would daven one instant, for the rest he'd burn the rest of them up. They have to collaborate. They complete each other. And by neshamas, every yid is complete. So the difference between a neshama and a malach is the neshama has an essence and a center. And the neshama is balanced. But the neshama's shlichus is in this world. That's what it means. The neshama's shlichus is on earth, is on this world. So first of all, when you get to Eliyahu Hanavi, so you certainly know the word Pinchas Eliyahu. Right? The Rebbe said this many times. Pinchas Eliyahu. Pinchas is Eliyahu Hanavi. And the Rebbe asked the obvious question, Pinchas was before Eliyahu. So you should say, Eliyahu Zeh Pinchas. In other words, first he was Pinchas, then he's Eliyahu. And the teretz is that Pinchas, who was the son of Elazar ben Anakein, he was a Kein Gadol, was first Eliyahu. First he was a malach, and then he became Pinchas. And the idea is that this is an neshama, that in addition to the shlichus that it has on this world as a neshama b'guf, it has shlichus in not as a neshama b'guf. In other words, the concept of a neshama being a malach, it doesn't mean it's taking away from its being a neshama. It's adding to it. There are certain neshamas that when they leave this physical world, rather than go to Gan Eden, they're doing shlichus. They're doing shlichus in the part of HaKadosh Baruch Hu. They're correcting things that they may have done during their lifetime. And this is the meaning of a neshama being a malach. In other words, a malach has limitations. A malach doesn't have an essence. A malach is not a complete being. Malachim are compared to animals. Some malachim are chesed, like certain animals are chesed. Some malachim are gevura, like certain animals are gevura. When a neshama becomes a malach, that's a neshama, with the depth of a neshama and the completeness of a neshama. But in addition, it's doing shlichus in when the neshama is not connected to a guf. And I just want to conclude by saying that this is a thought on this question, but the real answer to this question is, I don't know. Maybe it's brought someplace in Hasidus. I've never come across a discussion on the significance of a neshama becoming a malach. I just offered some thoughts on the question.